Hey everybody, Dave Clark, aka the Pattern Guy. Welcome to the Pattern Shop. We're up here, it's Wednesday today. I want to show you some stuff today. I'm not going to do a chalk talk. I'm just going to show you some of the jobs I'm working on. Got to apologize to the shorter video Sunday. I thought I had gotten a little bit more stuff. Like I said, I was a little leery of filming. Tony doesn't want to be on film and that. So, and one of the things I realized, I didn't show how we did anything. So I got to go back up there tomorrow. I'm going to head up there a little bit. Tony's going to meet me after work. He works nearby. So he's going to, I'm going to go up there a little bit later in the day. And then what I'll do is I'll show you how I do things in that. So we'll get some more plumbing, get going on that, and I might do some casting. I don't know, we'll see. It's just been ungodly hot here. It's starting to cool down a little bit now. Maybe, like I said, we'll see. I'm getting way behind cats. I've just had so much stuff going on this summer so far. I'm working on a possible new customer in it, so they need a lot of aluminum castings, so a lot of them I can't handle, so I'm going to have to farm them out. So I've been looking at some of my customers, trying to get prices, and that's been taking some time up too. So there's that. So one of the things, like I said, I'm not one to I'll admit my mistakes. I don't get embarrassed too much, but anyhow, I'm working on these one jobs. I'll show you real quick here. I'll show you. Here are these. These are those little patterns I'm working on for. It's a guy that we're doing a Y pipe thing for, right? So what I had done is I made a mold again, like I did with the Y pipes, okay? And then what I did, I came over here. And I'm trying to find the mold here. I got the mold here. Alright, so what I did was, for a while I kept the spindle on the drill press here, and I was, surfacing them off, okay? So what happened is like I said, I've cast a few. I got to cast some more. I got a buddy that said he'll turn them up. The aluminum hard, what would you call them, discs, I guess. I got to get one of those, because I think what happened was the more I was doing it, it just the mold started wearing out a little bit more in that. And like I said, the rubber one flexes. So what happened, I think, was I started getting out around a little bit. They started taking off a little bit more, so the ones I made 24 altogether, and around 15, 12, 15, I started getting them, 5 thousandths under thickness wise, and then the other ones, it started getting about 10 thousandths or close to. It's actually 7. So what I did was, here's a thing. I'll show you how I remedied that. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm on my hard surface here. It's a table saw. Machine guys will shoot me for this. I actually should do it on this table here. Okay, it's my kind of catch-all table. So what I did here, these are 7 thousandths shims. Okay, so what I did was I greased the table up with some grease, wax release, and then I put a little Bondo on the bottom of those, and I push them down, and I make sure I get, contact. Alright, so then that'll get me so that, okay, and then there's a minus here. You can either, one of two ways to remedy that. I could go ahead and just fill in Bondo the rest of the way on there, but what I'm going to do, there's enough on there. What I'm going to do is, as I'm mounting those on the board, what I'll do, I'm going to put fill it all the way around these. It's going to be painstaking in that, but I think it's going to help me out too in casting them, it's going to kind of make them blend in a little bit better. This one's not going to be as straightforward as the other one where I just put a board across, because if you notice, these actually, they got a step in them. See the step? So I'm not going to be able to put a flat board across. So what I'm going to have to do, what I think I'm going to do is put a little notch. So I'll take this and then I'll make sure I'm either here or, you know, notch this whole space out here and then make sure I'm flat here. I'm not sure. I'm still pondering that one, how I'm going to mount these. Okay, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lay them out with the height gauge. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue them on for now. We'll do a couple samples, make sure that they are where they're supposed to be, and then we'll probably put nails in these again too. And I've yet to do the other ones. They're holding up. I gotta. He just wants to go on that one, so I'm probably run that for a little bit without some secure fasteners in there. Hopefully they'll all stay on, and you know, once I'm done with it, we'll make sure we get some nails in there or something so they'll stay on. So I'm gonna work on this for a little bit. I got a couple, like I said, I got a couple other things going here. I'll turn the camera on here and there, show you what I got going, okay, as we're going. And like I said, we'll get some stuff going today. All right, hang tight for a bit. Okay guys, like I said, we're going to do several different things today. I'll try to film as much as I can, okay? Just trying to clean up a lot of the projects I have going in that, and I do have some real work. I'm still working on the cylinders. I got to, you know, keep going on those again. And one of the things I'm doing is the ladle. All right, like I said, you know, try to not get in the habit of starting a project, not finishing it. Like I said, I got a couple dozen projects. I'm just starting to get annoyed with myself here too. So it's trying to, I'm a little bit slow, real work-wise, a little bit, but what I'm trying to do is wrap some of this stuff up. And then, like I said, with the ladles, it's important, but it's not. It's one of those things. I said I'm getting overloaded with scrap down in the basement, so it's just getting too much. So, and like I said, normally I don't want to just sit there and make ingots. It's kind of a waste of time. But if you look in the scrap yards, you get 3 times more for zinc than you do for aluminum. A lot of people get that mixed up. You know, they'll just see a piece of zinc and throw it in their aluminum pile. Okay. So you keep the zinc out. There's ways to test it. Look up online. I think if you grind it, and then I forget the solution, I think you put vinegar on it, it'll turn black. If it's aluminum, it won't, or it'll start bubbling or something. We'll clarify that down the road once I get into doing it. But I want to get that zinc mold done. I want to start doing that when I get a chance, like, you know, getting the ingots going, okay? So I gotta get that job done, and then like I said, I'm on the phone. You know, I've been on the phone all week this week, you know, looking for foundries to do this stuff, and this is where you know, I'm gonna get up on the preacher's box here a little bit. I've been in this business for 40 years, all right, and I'm seeing the amount of foundries that have gone out of business. I don't know if you guys watched my opening video, my very first video. I mentioned my wife helped me write a letter out seeking a pattern. Messed that up again as I did in the first one. I was looking for a pattern making apprenticeship. All right, so at the time there was 32 pattern shops here in Cleveland. And to be honest, I don't know the exact number right now, but right off the top of my head, I know of 3. That's it. I'm not saying that that's all there is, but you know, there's you know, I'm technically a pattern shop too, but I'm a lone wolf. I'm not employing anybody, right? And then the amount of foundries that have gone under, you know, I'm biased because I'm in this trade and I love this trade. All right, but the thing is the foundry business is the foundation of industry. All right, We cannot lose that. We have to get industry right back in this country. We're going to be in big trouble if we don't, you know. So it's a thing where, and it's not just because I want to keep my job, keep it going. No, we need it, and for more ways than one, too. It's a thing where, like I said, us older guys, when we're gone, all this knowledge is going to be gone. All right, it's a friend of mine, actually the lady that I was making those little shoe things for. I got to get going on those things too. You know, she at one point said, she's like, well, you know, why don't we just, who cares about foundries? They stink, they pollute, you know, let them go over to other countries and that. Well, I said, well, you know, what if, you know, we need them badly, you know, well, then we could just redo them, you know, have them come back here. Well, no, you can't, because nobody's going to know how to do it. And the thing with the foundry industry is really one of the oldest, you know, professions in life. They found castings over 5,000 years old. So it's literally, a lot of people say it's the next oldest industry next to prostitution. I mean, they've got, so overall, you know, 5,000 years of making castings. I mean, you figure we should be perfect. I mean, there should be no issues, and, you know, bang, bang, bang. I mean, we're still figuring stuff out 5,000 years later, you know. So things are changing, developing, things like that, okay. So it's important. We got to keep this stuff going. That's why I'm doing this, you know, and if I, you know, try to, you know, I need viewers, subscribers and everything. Try to get your buddies in it. We need to keep, you know, we need to keep this thing going for people know how to do things in that. But art, it's a form of art, basically. All the trades are a form of an art. That's very important in life. It's important for the human being. All right, and like I said, it's hard for people that don't know, that aren't in this trade or any kind of trade. It's, you know, we're creating something, and it's hard for people that, you know, I'm not putting people down that, you know, sit behind a desk or sit behind a computer and that. I mean, using these things, it's just, it's unreal, you know. So keep this stuff going. Let's get it, you know, keep everything going here. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to clean up some projects. All right, so we made that ingot mold the other day. Okay, so I wanted to do the zinc, the ZN. All right, so what I got to do is I got 4 cavities in that mold. So what I want to do is I want to make 4 of these tags. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mold with a repro like we usually do. All right, so there's a couple different ways we can go about doing that. I could cut out some strips, glue the strips up and that, but this is for me. It's, I mean, even if this was, say, for a customer, I'm going to show you a quick way to make a frame, okay, for mold. I'm going to take a piece of plywood, all right, and I mean, you don't have to measure anything or anything. I'll just do it the same as what that is. All right, and then here's another kind of trick for measuring. That's a good marking gauge, right? Okay, so you get that down there. You mark your width, what this is, and then I want to go about 1/4 inch past that, okay, because I want to, you know, have some plastic in there. Okay, so there we go. That one, we can flip it over. Like I said, we're going to pour plastic in there. Okay, we'll get a relative width on this thing. Okay. All right, no big deal, because like I said, I'm not selling this. This is going to be for me. It's going to be for, I'm going to make 4 plastic ones of these out of repro, and then this is probably going to go in the garbage. Okay, so it's no big deal. All right, so we got a rough layout. Let me show you how to do something real quick. Okay, I got the length. I'm just going to cut right in here. Okay. Okay, real quick thing. normally, guys that are just starting out, you don't want to push a piece of wood in and pull it back out. A lot of times it'll squish together, you'll pull your band off, right? You know, but I'm careful, I've been doing this, okay? So what I just did was I just cut right into my frame, all right? And I'll show you how I'm gonna fix this in a minute, all right? So I just went up to one side. Well, when you get to the other end, I mean, I could probably only have a 1/4 inch wide band in here, okay? So the 1/4 inch band lets me go around corners like tighter than if I had a bigger band in, okay? But you know, you're doing things again here. So what you do is you nibble, take some cuts in, all right? Then I'm able to turn this piece 90, it'd be 90 degrees, okay? Then I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna do some nibbling. I'm gonna turn it 90, get this line, do some nibbling, turn it, and then I'll be able to get the scrap piece out, okay? And then get the, you know, we'll be done, and then we'll have this crack here. I'll show you what we're gonna do with that when we're done, okay? Okay, so I gotta fix this now. Okay guys, in working, like I always tell you, I try to, as much as possible, to work as efficiently as I can, okay? So what I'm gonna do with this hole here, this is gonna go around that, right? Okay, and I did cut that a little big, it could be better. So if I pour plastic in here, it's gonna leak out of this crack, right? So I'm gonna fill that full of Bondo. So I can go over here, get some Bondo out, mix it, right? Do it. All right, well here, I'm still working on these little parts where I gotta put 7/1000s underneath them for Bondo, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm almost ready to do one of those. So instead of mixing the Bondo and doing it for this, and go over there, what I'm going to do is I'll mix the Bondo to get another set of these things done, and then I'll use the remainder to fill in this crack. Okay, so try to do things, you know, as efficiently as you can. I actually was trying to, as I was pouring these patterns the other day, I was trying to get this done so I could, you know, pour the, you know, plastic, and it just didn't get it done, so unfortunately. But yeah, that's one of the things when I pour repro, what I try to do is, so if I have several projects going, you know, I try to line a couple different projects up and pour repros all at the same time, if you can. I mean, there's times where you just can't do it, you know. But always think of that ahead of time, like, you know, things that you can do. That's the same thing once we get into machining a little bit. Machining is hugely, it's all set up, you know, and you know, any machinist will tell you, you know, probably at least 1/3 of your time machining, it's setting something up, okay? So if you do, like I'm doing a small production run right now, right? So actually my customer ordered, I'm still working on those nuts. I really haven't been working on them, okay? He ordered 4 of them. Well, for me to machine 4 of them, it's just very inefficient, right? So I have 6 patterns on a board. I'm casting the castings too, so I got the extra 2, all right? So, but my thinking is I just made 2 molds, I poured 2 sets, so that's 12 castings. So hey, I'm gonna do 12 at one time. I'll just keep, you know, I'll keep 8 of them will be left. I'll keep 8 of them for down the road, and then, you know, a couple months down the road when he orders another 4, they're done already, you know. But then here I don't have to go back, set up again with that job. I'll show you, there's probably close to a dozen different setups where you know, you have to set the machine up to do something. And one of them, it takes me about half an hour to set the machine up you know. So if I got to do, you know, 3 sets of 4, that's an hour and a half setup versus if I just do all 12 of them at a time, it's a half-hour setup. I save myself an hour at a time. Okay, so think of the efficiency all the time. All right, I'm gonna get ready to pour another one. I'm gonna shut the camera off for a minute, and or not pour another one, but squish, and I'll show you what's happening with this when I'm done. All right, hang tight, guys. Okay, guys, here you are. Okay, what I did here, I just mixed up some Bondo. I thought I had the camera on before. Okay, mix that up. I squished those. Okay, so like I said, you know, learn how to do things efficiently and everything. Okay, so I'll be ready to pour this. One of the biggest things you gotta watch is make sure when you're pouring plastics or mushing stuff, make sure you grease whatever's going on. You know, because it just it can make a mess if you don't. I mean, I've seen big messes and actually, I mean, it can cost you a lot of money too. Okay, so that's you know, one of my best ways for me to learn is through osmosis, just watching people do things. I'm good at, I read, I love reading, and I read books all the time. I actually listen to books while I work all the time. That's what I do instead of music. I love music too, but I listen to books while I'm working, and I love it, but I'm just not one for reading instruction booklets and doing it, you know. So I love just you know, watching people. You know, when I first started at Arrow, it's kind of funny, is that, you know, watching guys do things in that. And the first shop that I worked in there, it actually was this long skinny shop, and that's like a primo shop, because you want your shops, it kind of looks inefficient, but it's not, because what it is we had an overhead crane in both shops that went from wall to wall. I mean, it covered every square inch of that shop. You know, we had a 5-ton up in the machine shop, and back in the pattern shop, I think we had like 2 or 3 ton one back there. I think it was 2 ton, but you know, the first 2/3 or 3/4 of the shop was a machine mold shop, and then the back section was the pattern shop. And then next door we had a big mold storage area. So what happened was when I first started there, it was '84, there was Joe, the old German guy, was the foreman. There's another guy, Dave, he was a pattern maker. They had an older guy there, Alan the son. He was awesome lathe hand. He's just a wood lathe hand, I should say, wood turner. He was there part-time. He was retired already, and back then, you know, you could only make, you know, $6,000-7,000 bucks or something, and without messing up your Social Security. So he only worked a couple months out of the year, you know. So anyhow, we got to the point where we were. What happened was the benches were lined up against the wall. Okay, so there was a tool bench on the one wall that was actually mine, and then we had a workbench, a 4-foot by 8-foot workbench, and then another tool bench back to that, another 4x8. So 2 guys shared the 4x8 workbench. Okay, so I just happened to share with Joe, the foreman. You know, so I was always watching Joe, you know, and watching what he was doing, you know. So I got a pattern to make, and I had to pour a little plastic. So Joe's like, hey, you know what you're doing with it. I'm like, yeah, watch, you pour 100 of these things. I'm good, I can do it, you know. So got the thing ready, put a coat of grease on it, poured it. You know, an hour later, I go to demold it, and it's not coming out. So I'm like, what the heck? So Joe's like, well, you know, you told me you know how to do this, you know. So I'm like, well, yeah, I watched you do it. So we're trying. He comes over. He's trying to help me get it out. He's like, how many coats of grease do you put on? I said, 1. He's like, no, because you got to put at least 3 coats on. I saw him grease it. I don't know how many coats, but you know, you guys think about it. You know, I was young and dumb, you know. And it's, you know, you think about it, you put 1 coat on, if you don't get everywhere, which obviously I didn't, you know, it got stuck. So we had to bust the stick out, but thank God, you know, we had the mold. So, yeah, I didn't have to redo the stick. There are sometimes you got to redo the stick. There are sometimes you ruin the mold. There could be, I remember one shop I worked at, the foreman there, he was the owner's brother-in-law too. He poured this big job. He had $800,000 worth of plastic in that job, and it was ruined, you know. So he shit canned a bunch of money too. So that's the thing you can do. So make sure you grease stuff up, make sure you grease it really good, okay, before you do any of the stuff. So next thing what I got to do, I actually have 3 coats. I put 2 coats of the wax release with a brush on. I got a spray coat. I'm going to spray another coat. I'm going to mix some repro. I'm going to pour this in it, and then I'm going to make 4 of these. I'm going to probably let them sit. I'm not going to get to putting these into that mold. Like I said, I'm doing some machining up on the mill. I have to get in the mill and mill some slots in there. So when I'm done with this setup, in between, I'll get on there and mill the slots for these to go in. So that's going to be, you know, a few days before I get that done. And like I said, this is something for me, so it's like, you know, back burner thing. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. All right, so there's that. And then one thing, I'm going to turn you off for a little bit. I'm going to get geared up to do one other thing I'll show you, and then we'll call it a day for that. Tomorrow, you know, unless something huge happens, I'll be up at the foundry again tomorrow. We're going to continue on the plumbing. This time, I'm going to get up there a little bit before Tony gets up there, because he's working. He works full time for a bit, and then when he gets off of work, he's going to come meet me and we'll do some stuff. But I'll show you some of the stuff I realized watching the other video. I realized that we didn't show you how to do anything. All right, so we'll show you some of the things that, you know, we know that we can do up there, and then we'll show you that stuff. So I'll be back in a minute. I'll show you another job I'm going to get going on. All right, hang tight, guys. Okay, guys, I want to show you this. I'm not sure how deep into this I'm going to get today, and I got to get the camera back. But while I got the camera, I wanted to show you. So if you, for the younger guys, if you want to get into this, and you can get an apprenticeship at a shop somewhere, what you're going to be doing a lot of times, you're going to go in the shop, you're not going to make patterns right away. What you're going to do is do repair, okay? So I do repair here also. I got one customer, this guy actually, he throws a lot of work my way, so I help him out a lot, okay? So one of the things you do is you look at the pattern when you get it, okay? There's going to be some obvious things too. I'll pick you up real quick and I'll show you all the stuff on this that we'll be looking at. But the thing is, like I tell you, you always, you know, do the best you can all the time, okay? Now, it's the thing where most guys, you gotta watch too. Okay, this guy's not gonna want me to do more than $100 worth of work on this, I guarantee it, you know. But me, I can't do it. Me, Blaine's the same way. We don't know when to stop, all right? That's probably why I'm not a millionaire yet, you know. So it's, like I said, and then if you're in a shop, they'll tell you what you want done, what they want done in that, okay? But you know, when you're on your own, you get something for somebody else. Basically, you gotta assess the worst parts in it. But I'll pick you up. I want to show you some stuff on this job. That's the other thing I want to do. I want to show you as much different things as I can. Okay, so this one's it's kind of interesting. There's a few different things on here that you haven't seen yet, and I want to show you too. All right, so let me pick you up. Hang on a sec. Okay, like I said, I want to show you guys as much stuff as we can here. So I'm going to turn you around. I'm going to point the stuff. Hopefully, we'll be able to get this this out pretty good. And there's a thing too where this is my one customer. He uses probably 12.5 different foundries, and it's funny. Like I say, everybody's gating's different in that, so I can tell basically what foundry's doing this by the gating on it, you know. So I'll point you out some things on that and that, but let me turn you around and show you all the stuff on here. All right, so what this is called the 3-cavity match plate. 3 cavities, because we'll have 1, 2, 3, there's 3 patterns on here, okay? So it'll make 3 cavities in the mold, and then they're gonna pour molten iron in here, and then that's gonna get, and it's iron, I can see, because this square right here actually is going to, man, I shouldn't say that too, because the one guy he'll put these on for aluminum too. He strains everything, but this is the drag, or how I know this is a drag. This is a drag bowl. I usually make mine round. This guy does them square for some reason, but this dimple in here, it's going to make a dimple in the sand, and that's actually going to hold up that strainer. There's going to be a strainer on here. All right, so looking at this, I can see, I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up. Okay, so I'm looking at there's a little chunk missing here I got to fix, right? So I can see wood grain in here. All right, and then you can see how that's chipped off. So what I'll probably do is I'll just, more than likely, I'll chip this whole thing off, drill some holes in there, and we'll just bondo this in there. I could, you know, strike this off, put a new piece of wood on there, carve it, but for what, you know, how much he wants to spend on this, and for how many, I think he only needs like 30 of these, so they're going to do 10 molds. So I can see a big dent there. We're going to, you know, what we'll do is we'll drill some holes, put some bondo in there. All right, so this one's wood, okay? So moving over to this one, I can see it's plastic. And this is gray plastic. This stuff I haven't seen in years. So what they did was they used this to make a master, and then this one and this one are plastic, okay? And then instead of pouring 3 plastics, they just use a master on there. I don't care to do that. You know, I'll just say 3 urethane on a board, because this one's, I mean, minus this big chunk out of this one, it got hit by something, all right? But this one's really good shape. And then you can see this one's just deteriorating, all right? So why would you put 2 good urethane, you know, patterns on something and put this wood one on? It's not gonna last, you know. So it's not, in this much plastic, it's not, you know, I mean, it's $5 worth of plastic, maybe, something like that, right? So same thing, this was actually a product from Kent Collins. This is a Kent Collins product, and they actually put aluminum in this stuff. It's pretty cool. But what I'll do, same thing, I'm gonna just drill some holes in there. We're gonna put some bondo in there. All right, so looking over the gating, it's not too bad. I'll probably fill these holes up for them. I mean, you know, it's not, I don't have to. There's no fillet here, so while I got the bondo out, I'll probably put fillets up. And like I said, I know the foundry this is going to, he does me favors all the time, so it'll be easier for him to mold this with fillets in here. So I'm gonna put some fillets around there for him. That's just because, you know, that'll be for the foundry guy. Okay, so here's the cope half. Okay, and then you can see my riser coming up here, or his riser, I should say. All right, this is his bowl. That's kind of loose. We'll probably tighten this up. Okay, these patterns don't look too bad. It's plastic, and the plastic, those look good. But you come over here and you can see all the little dings and dents in this wooden one. So we'll fix that one up a little bit, and I think we'll leave the other ones go. Okay, another problem I see with this too, which I'm not going to address because it would take too long. And like I said, he only wants to spend like about $100 to fix this thing up. So I'm not going to get into it that far, but you can see there's little tiny gaps underneath. You know, we should put a fillet all the way around these things, but like I said, he's actually in a fairly big hurry to get this back. And like I said, he doesn't want to spend that much money on it. And then what I'll probably do is just put a big blob of bondo on here and just, you know, make that look a little prettier there too. So, but that's it. So that's what I'm going to do to this job. I don't know if, more than likely, like I said, I'm not going to get going on this just yet, and I'll probably get doing this in a day or two or something. So if I get the camera back and I got this done, or if I start working on it, I'll show you. But since it was in the shop, I had the camera up here, I thought I'd show you guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut you loose because I got to get this, I got to get the camera up to Joe's, hopefully get this on YouTube tonight, and you know, we'll go from there. But anyhow, we'll, like I said, we're gonna go, I'm gonna go up to the foundry tomorrow. I'll try to get the camera back and I'll show you what's going on up there, and we'll see what else we've got going in the shop. Okay, one of the things, before I let you go, I forget to do all the time. Like I said, one of the things I always, like, in watching YouTube videos, I hated people asking to subscribe and to like and all that, and I'd appreciate it if everybody was. I know why the guys do it now. One of the things I've never done, and as I said, I'm still learning a little bit also too, is I want to thank everybody that has subscribed too. I really appreciate it. Appreciate feedback. I love, you know, like I said, I'm not getting that much letters yet in that, or comments I should say. I'm not getting that many comments yet where I can't, you know, get back to people, so I'll try to get back to people as much as I can, okay? And that, so, you know, keep those comments coming. I appreciate it. Then see if, like I said, seriously, I'm doing this to teach people. So if you guys need to know something, if you're doing a project, you need to know something, if I can help you out, you know, just write something down in the comment section. If I know how to do something, I'll let you know how to do it, all right? So with all that stuff, I appreciate you guys' support, and everybody have a good one out there. Stay safe, all right?